Okay. How many times have you ever gone to a movie and it was based on a book, and you got out of the movie and you just thought to yourself, man, that movie just totally doesn't do the book any justice at all. Well, I've been to a lot of movies and I've watched a lot of TV in my life. I've also read a lot of books, and I've discovered through personal experience and through some research that movies are, by and large, better than TV and movies for several reasons. Books, or sorry, TV and movies, you tend to just watch them and enjoy them, and your mind tends to turn off. But with books, you're engaged and you're thinking and you're imagining the situations. So there's a lot more engagement. So, TV, especially TV, movies are this way as well, but especially TV are not, they tend to cause, studies say that they cause ADHD, especially in children who watch a lot of TV. In a study done by the National Endowment for the Arts, researchers thought that the rapid scene changes of TV influence the brain development of children, and television replaced other activities like reading, activities that require more attention development. So they, the TV, all these scenes are just shown to you, and you're a passive watcher of the events that are transpiring before you. Whereas, according to PsychCentral.com, children who watch a lot of television, they become less tolerant of slow-paced and more mundane tasks such as schoolwork even. So just another reason why a lot of TV, especially early on, can cause bad grades and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And according to marketcharts.com, 1 hour of primetime TV contains 8 minutes of show brand appearances where they just have brand names and things like that that are shown in TV programs, and as well as almost 14 minutes of just commercials within an hour. So that's a grand total of almost 22 minutes per hour of advertisements that you're seeing. So you, by watching a lot of TV, you'll end up spending all kinds of money, because you'll end up buying things that you didn't even know you needed before you watch the commercial. So it's really 36% of all the TV that you watch is some sort of advertising or commercial, which is pretty staggering. So when watching TV, the brain tends to kind of switch off, and you become passive. And while you may be trying to figure out situations or trying to figure things out within the movie or the TV show, you're really just being spoon-fed these shows and these movies. So you're passive. You're not active in discovering these things. And TV overall is a lot more expensive. You wouldn't think about it, because most TV, especially network, is free. But you have to spend money for power. You have to spend money on a TV, and you always want a better TV, a bigger TV, flat screen, surround sound, Blu-ray player, and all the cables and attachments and universal remotes that come with that. So it just ends up costing a lot more than you would think, and especially if you pay for cable, which can also be even more expensive. So TV is bad. But books, on the other hand, books are good, because you can read them anytime. They don't require electricity, and it's $10-15 for a new book, and you can get used books for cheap. on like Amazon or even, you know, local used bookstore for a couple bucks and for hours and hours of enjoyment. The books require attentiveness. You have to focus on reading, and you know, you have to focus on each word, each line, so that it builds focus, it builds attentiveness. Yeah, and you have to concentrate on what you're reading. You have to focus on the words that you're reading to try and build a mental picture of what's going on. And you have to use your imagination to construct the world that the author is trying to describe within their book. It's a great mental exercise. And if you're reading something deep like philosophy or theology or something like that, it takes a great deal of concentration to really chew on what the author is saying, and to really just get your mind around these things. A book can be picked up or put down whenever you want to. It's not something you have to devote a half hour to, or with a movie like hour and a half, 2 hours. It can just be, you know, you can be doing other things while reading and just kind of read sporadically. It's not something that has to require your, you know, all three of your senses. The books are more descriptive. The author can tell you exactly what the person is thinking, whereas in a movie or book, these things can be, you know, more awkward, and the author can go into great detail describing a single scene, whereas in a movie or a book, or a movie or a TV show, it's you know, just you get a kind of a snapshot of what they're trying to show you. So books are also great because when you're done with them, you can resell it online or at a used bookstore. You can just, you know, give it to a friend, or you can, if you really didn't like the book or you can't resell it for anything, you can just recycle it. So it's great. And even in light of all these things, the New York Times recently reported that fewer than half of Americans over 18 read novels or short stories or poetry. So it's really sad how TV, and especially like the internet, where you can easily watch, you know, any TV show or movie on Hulu or YouTube or things like that. So some good books. Some of my favorites. Lord of the Rings, always good. Tolkien creates a great world of fantasy and different races, and even invented many languages. And there's experts on these languages that you can also study, but that's at your discretion. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, also some great fiction. Douglas Adams is very, very creative British author. And non-fiction, some systematic theology, you know, very deep. It takes a lot of concentration. Very good. Or if you just want to learn some new words, Webster's always good. Good old dictionary. I once read an article about a guy who read the entire Oxford dictionary and just spent like 8 hours a day for several months just reading all the different words and descriptions. It's kind of interesting. So in conclusion, read more books. They're better. Seriously.